Too much life insurance or too little life insurance? Hi, welcome to Skye Simplifies. I'm Phil, and today I'm going to be talking about how much life insurance do you actually need. So one person's over-insurance is another person's under-insurance. So that's one thing to think about. Everyone will have their own individual amount that they want to be insured for, but I'll give you a rough idea of how we think about it here at Skye. So for life insurance, if you've got a mortgage and someone's relying on your income to pay that mortgage and you pass away, we want to make sure there's enough money just to at least cover that mortgage. When it comes to like investment properties, we don't love covering that because theoretically you could sell that investment property. However, for some people, it may be really important to keep a holiday house or to keep an investment property for passive income, and they may want to cover that as well. Now, the next thing to think about is that loss of income. That's really the most important thing. If someone's relying on your income, having that loss of income is really important. So don't just think about covering the mortgage when it comes to life insurance, but think about covering that loss of income as well for a reasonable amount of time. Now, if you've got dependents, you want to cover a bit more. If you don't have dependents, covering the mortgage may be appropriate amount of cover. But if you do have dependents, the way we like to think about it is calculating at least 10 years of your after-tax, after mortgage repayment income. So whatever that is, let's say your income's $100,000, take away tax, again, just for simplicity's sake, let's say that's $25,000, and then your mortgage repayment every year, let's call that $25,000 as well. We want to cover $50,000 for minimum of 10 years if you do have dependents. Again, one person may come and say, oh, that's probably too long. You know, my dependents are almost, independent and no longer dependent on us, or my partner can potentially find another way of sourcing income. It's really a simple way of trying to work out the level of cover that's important. The next thing to think about, do you want to just have a little bit of money to cover a funeral? Now, it's pretty simple. You just chuck an extra 30 grand on it or 15 grand, whatever the number is, can be reasonable. But thinking about all of those things as a very minimum when it comes to your life insurance need is pretty important. Now, one of the downsides we see a lot is people just think of mortgage only and don't factor in that loss of income, when for most people, the loss of income is actually much more substantial than just the mortgage itself. Now, another thing to think about is, for me personally, I have way more life insurance than those numbers would have allocated for me. And that's because for me, what I feel comfortable is paying a little bit more in premiums to make sure my wife and my kids are financially comfortable should I pass away. But each to their own.